Vaccines, new MacBooks, Chinese companies, and theme parks. All here on this week's Market Recap, November 13th. So we're doing this week's Market Recap a little bit differently. Last week we had an animated version of me, and this time we're going to have a live moving version. But unfortunately, the teleprompter is still in the mail, so we're going to be doing this thing a little bit weird. I'm going to be looking over here. On Monday, Pfizer announced that their new COVID vaccine was over 90% effective from the first interim analysis of their third stage trials. That same day, the S&P 500 opened at record levels, and we saw breakouts from companies in the hospitality, entertainment, and travel industry. There was so much trading volume that it caused several major trading platforms to buckle under the traffic. All this action was also among other general news chatter of Biden's election to the presidency. On Tuesday, Apple announced their new generation of MacBooks that'll begin shipping next week. On the Apple side of things, they're saying that it's going to be cheaper, I suppose, and more powerful, of course, than previous generations. The new M1 chipset is supposed to be closely related to the chips in iPhones, which would streamline development for both platforms. The M1 is also being manufactured by Apple. This means they're going to be detaching themselves from Intel over the next few years, who made their CPUs in the past. Also on Tuesday, Greenland Technologies, ticker GTech on the NASDAQ, experienced a huge breakout in value. They make transmissions for cargo-carrying machines in China, and they announced a new electric drive chain technology for forklifts on the day of the breakout. Last week and this week, we saw strong upward movement in Chinese electric vehicle companies like XPEV and NIO on the New York Stock Exchange. On Wednesday, Dr. Fauci announced that he and his team think there should be an approved and available vaccine for the general public by spring of next year. Additionally, Alex Azar, the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary, says that vulnerable populations could have access to a vaccine in late December. There have been 1 million infections in the U.S. in a 10-day span. On Thursday, we learned theme parks in California are staying closed. According to a CNBC article, they won't be reopening until the number of COVID cases in the county they're located in drops below 1 per 100,000. Disneyland is in Orange County, and their cases are floating at around 5.5 per 100,000. Also on Thursday, President Trump signed an executive order banning U.S. investment in Chinese companies that have military ties. There's 31 of them in total, though the one that I think most U.S. citizens would recognize is Huawei, the mobile phone manufacturer. The order is effective on January 11th, and people who have already invested have until November of next year to divest themselves. I'm Andrew with Investors Hub. If you aren't already there, check out our website, investorshub.advfn.com, or our international website, advfn.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It keeps me in a job, and I'd really appreciate it. And stay tuned. We got lots of good stuff coming up for you, lots of interviews and market recaps each week. So see you again soon.